Why are some people so easy to talk to and be around? One of the most popular self-help books of all time did a great job at answering this question for me. There's a hidden mindset inside this book, that helped me more than any single piece of advice inside of it ever did. It made my conversations finally feel organic and fun, and helped me connect with people like I had never before. Because of this, all kinds of things got much easier, like meeting new people and deepening friendships. In this video, we're going to look at the mindset that this book showed me, what it could do for you, and 3 of my favorite ways it shows us that we can apply it.
Oh Lord, it's good to be here with you, Mr. O'Brien.
I bought this book a few years ago for 99 cents on an old Kindle that I'd found. At the time, I just wanted to be funny, cool, and likable, but I couldn't even have real conversations, let alone talk to new people. That was scary. So I picked up this book. Looking back, I don't really agree with everything this book says, but a particular theme, sort of a mindset that this book pushes, really helped me out. Conversations with people started to feel more natural. I got close with people faster, and I started knowing what to actually say. And I started to feel like other people were enjoying the conversations that they were having with me as well. So what is this theme? What's this mindset? Dale Carnegie, the author of this book, rejects the idea that in order to be likable, influential, and connect with people, we need to make ourselves the main characters in every situation. Instead, he proposes that real influence, real connection, real charisma comes from sincerity, kindness, and uplifting others. Through that, we can feel validated and fulfilled instead of acting and performing for others. As a side effect, I began to naturally influence people and win friends. You get it? That's the title of the book. Carnegie says, so let's obey the golden rule and give unto others what we would have others give unto us. How, when, and where? The answer is all the time, everywhere. Does this mean you should do everything for other people and sacrifice your happiness? No. Instead, it's about carrying with you an energy that motivates everyone else to feel better and do better. So what are some ways that worked when I tried to apply this mindset in my life? Well, let's look at what Carnegie says in his chapters. Let's start off with a story about a really good question. My friend and I are invited to another friend's church meetup, and there we're meeting a bunch of new people, and one of them asks my mate a really good question. And he answers that shit with his whole heart. I learnt stuff about this guy I didn't even know. And they simply asked him, what do you love about your job? Okay, so what makes this such a good question, and how can we ask questions like this? As I kept reading this book, I understood that Carnegie keeps trying to push this idea that everyone should feel appreciated because they're important. It's a normal human need to feel heard and appreciated. And so accepting others and making them feel important can encourage them to be their best self, their best authentic self, which can make connecting with them and enjoying your time with them much easier. So how can we make the other person actually feel important? He quotes another person, talk to someone about themselves, and they'll listen for hours. She was asking about the why, not just the what. She was genuinely asking about my friend's experiences, emotions, beliefs, and motivations. So imagine I burst into your room and I ask you that same question right now. Pay attention to how it might make you think and feel. How are you going to answer it? Sure, a conversation about interests or hobbies are great, but talking and listening well with someone about their experiences and feelings is just as great. It can help us better understand the other person and relate to them. In my experience, this makes the conversation feel so much more real, like you're actually talking to another person, instead of just a big list of hobbies and interests. Some great examples here. What do you love or enjoy about this? How do you feel? What's your opinion about this thing? What motivates you to do this thing? I have plenty of videos on listening and asking great questions. I'll link them at the end of the video so you don't forget to watch. What if I told you that there's a secret to winning almost every single argument? There's one time I was having an argument with someone who was very close with me, and they told me they were upset that I forgot to message them about something. I felt guilty, so I was trying to explain myself and why I did it. I said I forgot, I was busy, blah blah blah, but I could tell that they were closing themselves off and that I wasn't really helping or changing their mind. But then I remembered something that the book turned my attention to working on. So I changed things around and started asking the right questions instead of telling. And just a few moments later, we were both hugging it out. In the chapter Try to Honestly See Things from the Other Person's Point of View, Carnegie talks about this. And arguments aren't about trying to change the other person's mind or explain things away. They're about trying to understand each other. And that's how you both win, because you can either both win or both lose. So that's cool. How can we both win? Carnegie shows us in multiple stories in his book just how unproductive arguments and criticism can be. Instead of that, I took a moment, and before I told them what I thought and how I felt, I tried to understand how they did first. I started asking them what it sounded like to me and if that was correct, and trying to understand seriously how they see the situation. I put my sword and shield down, and instead of trying to win, I tried to help us both win. This helps me turn arguments into a moment where we actually understand each other and connect deeper, or even just a moment that's actually productive. This next one, you've probably done it before without even realizing that you actually did a pretty good thing, because you're such a cool, nice person. I'm chilling on this train, and this guy walks on, and the first thing I notice is that he's got a blue button-up linen shirt, because it's hot outside. And then I inhale through my nose, and I smell butterflies and rainbows and chocolate cake and flowers. He smells so good. I need him to know. I have to tell him that he smells good. So I ask him, what cologne is that, man? It smells so good. He turns around, he opens his mouth to talk, but nothing comes out. He goes, I actually don't remember. He goes on to tell me that it's from Dubai. He went on his trip. He got really into expensive fragrances. He loves oud. He loves wood smells and spicy stuff. And we have this small moment of connection. Carnegie has a similar story, and he explains that whenever he tells it, sometimes people ask him, what did you want out of him? He gets about as furious as you can get in a book. Now, this is a long quote, you can pause it if you like, but what he's basically saying is that if we talk to people only to get something from them, we will fail and will probably deserve it. Carnegie suggests that we can feel validated and happy by making others feel the same way, whether or not they can or can't do something for us. And he believed that a genuine, real expression of appreciation to others is an act of honest kindness. Of course, don't be creepy about it, but if there's something you actually appreciate about someone, let them know. It might make them feel better. They probably really needed to hear it. And you know something I realized? Sometimes I felt better after telling them that. I wanted them to know that they were doing a good job. Here's a problem though. Carnegie keeps pushing this idea that we need to be sincere, but he never really explains how to do it. I have a video here that goes in depth on that. I also have a video here about asking great questions and being a good listener. If you want to get much better at this mindset in only a few minutes a day, becoming a great listener is where it's at. You can check out the active listening toolkit in the link below.